Yes. Okay, mi gente, welcome to the first session of Mi Casita podcast. So I'm going to welcome the beautiful Alejandra Ramirez, good friend of mine. Haven't seen each other for a while though.
I know, it's been some time.
A long time we have not seen each other. I think we're talking probably over 10 years I have not seen you.
Too long.
Too long. I think the last time I saw you must have been at Espionage or something like that, a long time ago.
Oh, definitely. Top
Must
floor
have been.
somewhere.
Yes. You and your friend, Miss V, I think it was, or Lady V, if I remember. I'm trying to remember who it was that you were with. But yeah, so first session, I'm happy to have you on. The reason I picked you is because obviously you've been doing a lot of your own posts and stuff like that with your own little network called Your Growth Game. So the first question I wanted to ask was, what was your, your drive to do something like that? Did it have to do with lockdown, or is it something you've been looking at for a while, that kind of stuff? So if you just tell us.
Sure, yeah. I mean, lockdown gave me the opportunity to have the time to finish the studies that I've been wanting to finish for a long time now. Mm-hmm. For me, the whole self-improvement and self-development thing has been something that I've been so fascinated by ever since it first kind of caught my mind, maybe a couple of few years ago.
Okay.
And I wanted to just add a few more tools to my toolkit in terms of being able to provide some sort of level of service to other people who maybe don't know how to get from point A, where they don't necessarily really feel all that fulfilled in, to point B, where they know they want to get to, but they just don't know how, because I've been there myself. Mm-hmm. And my past experiences have definitely had me question a lot about life and what I want for myself, and is this really what I want for me? Is this the life that I want for me? So to be able to, I guess, just even give a helping hand or be an enabling kind of resource for other people is just something that always really resonated with me. Yeah. And that's just kind of where it's been. So for me, lockdown's been a really good opportunity to get those studies finished.
Well, you're doing well, sister. Let me tell you, I've been following your posts. I remember the first one you released. I was like, oh my god, damn! I was like, this is, you see it. You see, like, there's one person that does this. I know one other person that does what you do, but she does it in Belgium, and that's my cousin, or my second cousin.
Okay.
But she does it on topics that are more, because she's obviously Dominican. She's been living in Belgium, and she's had, prejudice has been, racially profiled, all that kind of stuff, and she's a model as well, kind of. So, I listen to her kind of stuff, but most of the stuff that I heard her say, I could kind of relate to, not because, well, obviously I'm not like a kind of skin color, but, I've always had this identity problem between being Chilean and Scottish, because I was born here, but I left very early, and I've been in different countries up until I was 16, and then I came back. And there's also that prejudice you probably know as well, well, if you're Chilean, why don't you speak Spanish? That kind of thing. And for me, it's like, well, we don't speak Spanish, we speak Chilean. And it's so I get that quite a lot. I get a lot of stick from my friends who are like Venezuelan, Mexican, or whatever about it, but it's all good fun. So yeah, like I said, when I first saw your post, I was like, finally, there's somebody that I know that actually knows what she's talking about, because she's been through it, but also, it's other people around, probably people that we know very well, that we didn't even know had these kind of, issues in their life, or self-doubt or whatever. And, when you think about it and you maybe get those feedbacks, you're like, oh my God, well, I didn't expect that from this person, So you probably thought that when you saw my comment, and you were like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that.
I did. I really did. It wasn't ever something I would have ever thought coming to have come from you. But this is the beautiful thing about when you put something like that out there, it just gives other people that kind of relatability. And if people are confident enough to kind of also say, or share their piece, then that's everything for me.
Yeah, well, I learned the hard way. There's easy ways of finding out how to talk about your problems. There's also hard ways to do it, and I found out the hard way because, long story short, I was married, not in the middle of a divorce. I get to see my daughter a certain amount of times a month, which isn't really great, and it's when you don't expect something like that to turn or happen in your life, when you think everything's okay, that hits the most. But then there's the reality where you think, okay, so there was something wrong, I didn't see it. now I need to go and find help about it. So, everybody has their help, everybody maybe takes the route that you took because you want to help people and it helps you as well. Mine was a bit different. Mine was dancing, teaching dancing again actually, salsa dancing again, boxing. I went back to boxing and that didn't last very long because obviously I'm pretty old now, so it's like it doesn't work that much. 33 is pretty old in those kind of terms.
Don't be silly.
But, it's up to the, I found that was also up to myself to do something about it instead of moping around and whatever. So,
absolutely.
When you know somebody like yourself and you've known them for a while, even though we don't speak, you always have, I always have nice memories of you. I've never had any.
No, there's always love. There's
always
love.
been love. I've never remembered a bit that has been bad. We've always had a good time. I remember the first time I met you, you were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, "Chilean." "Where are you from?" "Mexico." And we tried to speak Spanish, and obviously mine was really bad. And I got stick for it.
Mine couldn't have been that great either, mate.
So like good memories. So I'm very proud. I've said publicly that I'm proud of you. I'm very happy with what you're doing. I'm happy you're doing what makes you feel good about yourself and helping people. So
that, honestly, Daniel, that means so much to me, but genuinely likewise. Like every time I see everything you're doing with like your music and your creativity and your choreography, like all of it, I am just in awe of that, and I find it so inspirational when people decide to do that for themselves, because it's a tough industry anyway. But yeah,
I've been doing it for a long time.
Like you're actually so
I've been doing music. I think I was releasing music when we first met. That's how far back I go with the music. And I've auditioned for X Factor 3 times. I think the last one was 2016 or 2017, and I got as far as the third audition. So so I've tried, and you get prejudices with people like, "Oh, well, you're doing Latin music, but there's nothing Latin about you," and it's like, "Oh, okay, we'll see about that," But yeah, that means a lot coming from you, because obviously that's been my outlet, especially in lockdown, because I went from working, I don't know, maybe over 10 hours a day, and then DJing from like 10:30 to 3 in the morning, and then that was my life. So I think now I've realized I actually like that life, because now in lockdown, everybody in lockdown says that it's helped them realize, where they are, and some people have thought that life wasn't good for them. I've realized I actually like that, and obviously it made me money. And obviously when I have to go visit my daughter in Aberdeen every 2 weeks, the money comes in handy, because I want to be able to spend most of my time with her, but also have the funds to go here, there, everywhere she wants to go to. So, but
absolutely.
So like I said, keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna make it in that industry somehow. I'm sure somebody will see your post and be like, "Right, we want you. If you're not an ambassador for something in the next few years, I'm going to cause a problem about it. I'm telling you right now."
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. It's going to take a bit of time. Everything does. But as soon as you start putting yourself out there, I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's never been... And don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do things because they're trying to make the world a better place, which is absolutely beautiful. But there are also some people out there that can try certain vocations or paths because they think that it's going to be an easy way to make money. And for me, I don't really... It's not that I don't really care how long it takes to get to a point where I know that it will be successful. As long as if I even reach just one person, I've made more of a difference than I did yesterday. That's all that I care about.
Yeah.
And for me, however that looks, I'm in.
Because your post was very personal yesterday. Just to quickly touch up on that, it was very personal. You really showed a complete, almost like a full side of yourself. You basically said what your insecurity was, and I think a lot of people can go with that. I'm maybe one of them. Like I've been in Aberdeen with my mum and dad, and my dad's Chilean, and my dad picks up on everything I wear, on everything my dad's like, "Why are you wearing baggy clothes?" I'm like, "Because I like wearing baggy clothes." And he's like, "Oh, is it because you're getting fat?" And I'm like, "Dad, come on." I'm like, you know what I mean? But you know what Latin people are like, they're straight to the point, they don't give a damn if you get upset. So, but it was very touching, your post, it was very personal, and the first thing I thought was, well, you're opening up so much about yourself. but people are going to relate to it. And now people are going to get a sense of, well, you know, there is no fear in talking about it. You know what I mean? It's just, hopefully, you know, but at the same time, you know, like me learning, like I said, the hard way, you know, I had a lot of faults I wasn't happy with, and I just, you know, one day I was like, you know what, this is who I am. I'm either black or white. I'm not in between, I'm not grey. Whatever it is that I do it for a reason. Whatever I say, whether it's bad or hurtful, whatever, I do it for a reason. Don't mean
There's
to hurt anyone. It's just basically I had to come to terms with who I really am, because it's a time in my marriage where who I really am went to sleep, and I became too enrolled in the role of being a husband and being a father. And you know, in our culture, my dad's done that. My dad's just went, I'm going to work 60 hours a week and make sure everybody's got money. So I did the same thing. So, you know, there's always that stigma where you get stuck where you are and you think there's no other way out. But really, when you wake up and realize there's plenty platforms you can go to, you know?
Absolutely, 100%. But I'll tell you something, it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of bravery to uncondition the way that you've been conditioned into being able to just be who you are.
Yeah.
So hats off to you, because it's very few and far between. A lot of us just tend to accept their place and their conditioning and accept complacency. And I did that for a very long time myself, to be honest with you, Daniel. Like, I was always the person that was trying to do things that I thought were more acceptable according to other people.
Yes.
Whether that was, you know, university or having X kind of job, or even the way that I was as a person. And it was never for myself. It was always for other people, whether that was my family or my relationships. And it would always have been to the point where I probably lost complete sight and identity of who I actually was as a person, because I was trying to fulfill everyone else's needs and expectations. You know, that's just not how life is.
That's the thing is, I think it's harder when you're a person, like obviously I had responsibilities. I was a husband and a father. So when you get stuck in that, everything else on the outside doesn't matter. And that's where the problem is. So now, because I've learned the hard way, like I've said 100 times already, people that I've met or I've become friends with who have just got married, or they're wanting to get married, or they've asked me, I said, okay, if you want to do it, if you love the person, go for it. But my only advice is to you, do not change. None of you should change. The only thing that changes is you get a piece of paper, you get a ring, and your funds don't become your own funds, you become your funds. Sure. You know, don't get me wrong, if you guys want to share most of the cost, go for it, but always make sure you have a bit for yourself, because at the end of the day, what helps a relationship last long is if you guys have that time for yourself, if you guys get to do this stuff by yourself. Just do what you did before you got married, and that's the key. You do that, that's fine. You might, that's it. So I didn't do that, obviously. So that's how it works. So, but
it's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. Yes, it was a very hard one, but at the end of the day, it's made me who I am now. So, and
and you know something, our most challenging moments land up becoming our most valuable lessons.
Exactly.
I find.
Exactly. Could be in anything in life.
Absolutely.
Anything. So, I forgot to say the intro, silly me. So this episode is about music, arts, quarantine. So what that means, mi gente, is what, you know, for me, obviously being a musician and a DJ, you know, there was times where I really missed my daughter and my family, and I was fed up because I wanted to work, but this was, you know, you couldn't go out and meet more people. And you know, what do? What do I do? Stick my iTunes on, the next thing I know I'm dancing to Unwell or Bad Bunny or whatever, you know. So music was a big help for me. It was a big inspiration for me because I managed to make a few good songs for my new mixtape. Art as well. Art was, you know, I'm very artistic. I've got it written all over my body. Everything on my body is my design. So, you know, obviously in some of your posts you had quite arty kind of concept around it, if you know what I mean. So it was... you had posts where you had paint all over your face at one point and all that kind of stuff, which I really love, you know. Obviously, I can't do that because people are going to be like, what the hell is this guy doing? But, so was art, that kind of artistry, like very, you know, I don't know, very strong for you, like a strong-minded thing for you to do in lockdown?
Yeah, I mean, do you know something? I think some people can maybe relate. Lockdown has either been, for many people, the best time of their life or the worst, but either way, we've learned a lot about ourselves. And for me, lockdown has given me not just the opportunity to finish a lot of the things that I've tried to accomplish over the past 18 months, but it's also given me the time to take for myself to be able to do the things that I used to love, that I never made the time for. Again, because the older that we grow and, you know, the more that we become embedded in either our jobs or our relationships or the things that we're trying to build for ourselves, we do land up losing sight of the fun and the play and the inner child that we should really keep sometimes, the spontaneity, the creativity, the fun. So for me, I had the opportunity to go straight back to what I genuinely loved, and that was for me playing music, listening to music, doing arts and crafty things. And in fact, the photography side of things, when I had the paint on my face, was something for me that was so far out of my comfort zone, because like I mentioned in that video that you would have seen yesterday, my physical appearance has been something that I've hugely battled with for so many years. So when I thought I was going to do a paint photo shoot, I thought that was going to be a good opportunity during lockdown to be able to express myself with colour, because I was always dressed in black and baggy. That's just been me, and I've always tried to hide myself because
I still do that now.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love black.
Yeah, black's a nice colour, you know. It just
but yeah, I just I wanted to start expressing myself more in the ways that I used to, but I lost sight of that. So yeah, definitely, like lockdown gave me the opportunity, or quarantine gave me the opportunity to go back to the things that I used to love doing when I was a kid. And that was a lot of it, the time, things that were arts and crafty, or things that were musical, or going outside and playing in the mud. Like it's just these things that we think that as adults we just need to get on with the more serious side of things, but that's not how it should be at all. We need to have a mixture of everything.
I think lockdown is giving. I know certain people that loved hiking and love to take day trips or weekend trips to go fishing and stuff. I'm sure those people have got an even better relationship than they thought with Mother Nature now, because I think Mother Nature's fully shown us its power in lockdown, and it's actually shown us as humans what we have done to pollute it in a certain way all over the world, you know. So yeah, you know, like
it's actually wild.
Yeah, so same thing, you know, same thing for me. Like obviously, like I'm pretty arty in a way. Like I like comics and I like doing weird gothic-y kind of things, and all. I've got most of them on my body as well, like I said, on my skin. So yeah, so like, you know, drawing for me, like I do it every now and then. But during lockdown, obviously me having a really good relationship with my daughter, she's into Pokemon right now. She's Pokemon crazy. So she's been like, because her mom's a key worker, my ex-wife's a key worker, so she went to this school somewhere with other kids who parents were key workers. And she's like, we're making a Pokemon comic book. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. I'm finally, my daughter's doing stuff like I used to do when I was a kid. So, you know, she'd be like, can you draw me this Pokemon? And I said, okay, what's it called? You know, and it's stressful because you're thinking, well, which one is she talking about? Because I have no idea. And obviously, them being a certain age, when they try to spell stuff to you, it's not like us where A, B, C, D. It's like B. You have to say a B, and it's, oh my God, it's like... So that I did quite a lot of that with my daughter in Aberdeen as well. We did a lot of arty stuff, and
love that.
I think I've come up with a few tattoos to put on my body for sure. So
I love a tattoo. I'm such a fan.
Yeah, you got many tattoos?
I'm running out of space now.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm working on that. I've still got the right side of my chest and my legs to do, but my dad watches this. He's probably going to call me. And
my legs are sore. I've got the whole right back of my leg done, and I was kind of getting my leg sleeve finished on the left leg as well. My back is done. My sides all done. Yeah, my arms. I've got a few.
You know, the thing is
I like the expression it gives.
You know, it tells a story as well. Well, most of my tattoos, they're all you know, I've got a sleeve on my right arm, and I haven't done all of it in one, like a lot, which is quite popular for people to do now. They get like this whole big design done in like 4 seconds or something. I've had a tattoo done every few months that means something. You know, like tattoos for me tell a story. Well, they tell my story anyway, kind of. And I'm probably sure it's the same for you. So my dad listens to this, he's probably going to phone me and go, "You're not getting any more tattoos, boy. They're dirty, they're tacochino." Yeah. So it's terrible, it's literally. Music, you picked up on music, playing music. Obviously, you've played it, I've recorded it, and I've released some stuff. So yeah, is there like a zone that you get into one day, or I don't know, you're feeling a certain way and you're like, "Oh, screw this, I'm wanting to blast music out my flat and I don't really care what the neighbours think at all"?
Do you know something? I'm really lucky with my neighbours, to be honest with you, mate, because I have music blaring every single day.
Yes.
And I don't think I've ever had anyone knock on the door, touch my head. But music brings me so much joy.
It does.
Like, it brings me so many emotions, and I think you'll be able to relate to that being so musical yourself. Also, like, there's certain music that you can listen to and it just takes you straight back to like a moment. I love that shit. I love the nostalgia that it brings. I love all
for me it's salsa. Yeah, for me it's salsa, because my dad used to. Well, not only just salsa. It could be when people listen to my playlist, they get very surprised because I dress a certain way. When I'm with Latino people, Latino friends, I talk a certain way. And, you know, I love the new genre of reggaeton with J Balvin and stuff. And obviously, when we knew each other, Daddy Yankee had just come out with Gasolina, and it was a big freaking thing. But, you know, when people listen to my other genre of music, and I'm talking like Motown, Stevie Wonder, salsa, obviously, Bob Marley, that's all because I grew up with my dad listening to it blasting in the kitchen. He still does it to this day. My daughter hates it. I love it because it makes me remember, you know. I learned how to dance salsa in my dad's kitchen when he was away because I used to watch him. And he'd always know if I'd done it because his tapes would be like misplaced. My dad still uses cassettes. That's how old school he is. So
what day?
Yeah, so that takes you back, like you said, back to a place when you walk in and you say to him, "Oh, what's that song?" And he said, "I don't know." And he takes out this cassette and he's trying to read the faded writing on it. You're like, "Don't worry, Dad. I'm sure I'll find it on YouTube or something, you know." It's like, YouTube. You need it on a cassette. I said, nobody uses cassettes anymore. Wow. So, you know, I think for me, like, you know, especially I've also like learned a new genre of music that I ended up liking. I always liked opera. When I say I always liked opera, I'm always like, oh, I can only name 2 people that I know that's most famous, and that's Bocelli and maybe Pavarotti or whatever. But, you know, watching quite a lot of movies on Netflix, as most people did probably during lockdown, you know, there's always some kind of soundtrack or some kind of song that you hear and you think, "Oh, I've heard this 100 times on a commercial or something," but when you hear it fully, it wakes you up, you know. And there's some of those songs that I can relate to because some of them are very deep and stuff, and it made me miss my daughter. So I was like, okay, you know, stuff like that. So obviously lockdown helps with that as well. Lockdown opens you up to playing. I don't know, maybe you had a guitar in your corner for 100 years and you just I might as well play something, and you don't know how to play it. And I think I've met a couple of people already in Aberdeen that never touched a guitar in their lives, but they had one, and they said, "Oh, I'm learning how to play this Oasis song," and God knows whatever. So, you know, yeah. So music, I don't know. I think in general, music's had a really good impact on people. For me specifically, yes, because obviously me being involved in a dance society as a DJ and as an Afro teacher, and obviously going there as a social dancer, meeting so many people, and most of them were my students. I've managed to send them a song and be like, "Look, do you want to do a quarantine video or something to do with a song?" That's helped as well. It brings people together. And obviously there's obviously a dispute in some Latin societies where reggaeton isn't exactly accepted as a Latin genre. Which really pisses me off because me and you both know if we go back home and we go to a fiesta latina, you could be dancing salsa 1 minute, you could be dancing salsa 1 minute, bachata the next, Selena might show up with Como La Flor, and then you got reggaeton. That's how it is. So for me
Really?
to be able to have done that and bring all these like salsa people that are really really good dancers, my girlfriend included, to do my song like that and then me being able to post it, that was really good for me. I thought, right, you know, I finally shown people that you can dance to anything. It doesn't have to be a specific genre. It doesn't have to mean anything. So yeah, is there any artists, specific new artists you found over lockdown, or have you just been going back to old school Neo? Like I know you loved Neo back in the day.
Did I? God, I can't remember that.
Every time Miss Independent came on in the club, you were screaming. You were screaming
Oh,
with me.
probably. God, those were good times. I really do miss them.
Shakira and Neo. Those were your picks in Espo, if I remember.
To be honest with you, no. It was always like the things that, or the kind of music that I've either grown up listening to, or, you know, like just the old reliables that you kind of go back to. I listen to Bob Marley hands down every Sunday, like whenever I'm cooking my breakfast.
That should be a religion.
Yeah,
that should be a religion.
Be a religion. You have to have Bob Marley on a Sunday. But then sometimes, like especially when I'm cleaning the house, it will be like a Tiger Monday playlist that I've created on Spotify. It's just all the old school tunes that I remember properly getting down to back in the day. And then it would go from that straight to the likes of, like you say, Stevie Wonder and whatnot. Or then all of a sudden it'll probably be Lauren Daigle. I've got such a mad appreciation for her now. A lot of her songs I've been learning to play on the piano during lockdown as well, actually. Which has been really cool. And then just like a huge mixture. Even a lot of the songs from A Star Is Born, that film with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Like it's
Never watched that
so
movie yet.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been wanting to watch it for a while and I still haven't watched it.
Good idea.
Is it a tearjerker?
I left the cinema after watching that film, and after I got home, I was still bawling my eyes out. couldn't get over it. My partner at the time, he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not."
Oh God. Yeah, you get movies like that. You do get movies. I get emotional on like Rocky. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's weird. No, you know, it's just
a film. I'll give you that. Don't worry.
No, but I think it's because I've got older. You know, before I ever had my daughter, before I became my husband, before I had, you know, that kind of thing in my life, it was just like, oh, Rocky's crying, what a pussy, you know. It's like, but then when you get older and you go through certain things in life, and then you get yourself back from down there and you're up there, but you know the struggle you've had to get up there, you can't help but get emotional because you feel like what he says that, you know, I would probably say some like not even just the Rocky, but like Sylvester Stallone's story about before he made Rocky. It was quite inspirational. I mean, you know, the guy went through a lot of things. I've actually got a cutout of an article because I read it and read all the hardships he'd went through and how he was broke and how he slept at a bus stop and all that stuff. And I ended up just taping it above my mirror in my bedroom. And then, you know, just looking at it thinking, well, you're not there yet. So just stay away from being in that situation. And look where he is now.
You don't have to give away his dog because he can even afford to feed it.
Yeah, and then he waited. I remember I read the article. He slept at the same corner for 3 days waiting for the guy to show up, and he ended up getting the dog bag for thousands of dollars more, literally. So you know that shows it. Same with like not even just actors. It could be anybody. You know, anybody could have a certain thing, and then they could watch a bit in a movie or a speech in a movie, and they'll get emotional. It just happens, you know, it has to happen, you know, even sporting events. Me and my dad cried when Chile won the Copa America in 2015, you know, so that was, you know, it was tears of joy, you know, obviously because my dad's from there, and obviously all Chile has is football because my dad played football there as well before Pinochet came down. But it was also because, well, you know, we beat Argentina, so it was like, you know, that was a thing, so yeah.
Bad.
Do you think music might have helped easing the lockdown?
For me, 100%.
For you, 100%. For me, I'd probably say for me as well, yeah. Because that, you know, that's I know many DJs. I mean, I DJed live a few times. I did some online Fiesta Latinas, and then out of nothing to do on a nice sunny day, I went and DJed live. You know, you're pumped up for it as a DJ. You're like, yeah, I'm going to DJ live. But then when you're facing a wall, and you're like, what song am I going to play next? Because you don't see the people, you know. It makes you realize the advantages and disadvantages, and also makes you realize what effect music does have on you. So for me, if I'm DJing, I need people. I need people in front of me dancing, making noise, you know. And a lot of the DJ friends that I know that have DJed online have said the same thing. My mentor, DJ Panda, said, I can DJ online for maybe 10 minutes and then I'm done. He said, because it doesn't feel the same. So I'm hoping music's helped a lot of other people like it's helped us, you know.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, hopefully. But ultimately, I don't doubt that it will have, certainly for some people. Music is a universal language, I
Exactly.
think.
Yes.
There's always going to be a song for someone, you know. So, yeah, absolutely. And that's why music is used in so many different ways and forms. The background to emphasize the emotion in the films that you watch. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the experiences that we go through, especially like special occasions, important occasions, weddings, funerals, there's always a song that you associate with a moment. So yeah, hopefully, I would like to think so.
I've prayed that a group of people, especially now that lockdown's lifted a bit. Well, I say lifted, it hasn't really, because we're doing a lot better than England, and I'm going to say that out loud for anybody that might disagree with me on this podcast. Okay, we're doing better than you guys, so think about it. But Edinburgh is such a cultural city, and you can go to the meadows up here and find a group of people doing a little dance montage, whether it's TikTok, which really drives me mad. I just hope that there's a group of people that walk past just on a day walk and they see a Latin or an Afro or just even swing. I like swing dancing. I'd like to learn that, to be honest. See that and then go, you know what, when lockdown's over, I'm actually going to put my time into learning how to do that.
Amazing.
So I hope people take stuff on that, even whether they've seen it on videos and stuff like that, because I've seen a lot of really cool. There's this viral video of this little Belgian girl in Belgium, this little blonde-haired girl dancing Afro and with a group of like adults. She's 7 years old. She dances better than me. So I'm just like, I've shared that 100 times. It's like, So like I hope people have found a lot of ease and motivation and probably like another like sight with music, and I hope it's helped them pick up an instrument, or maybe made them look up a dance school or something for their kids or for themselves or whatever. That's what I hope anyway, because I'm a music fanatic. Same with art, trying to get my daughter to do art or to do music, and she's not interested, which really annoys me. Massively, but what can I say? You can't force your kids to do something they're not interested in.
Resonates with her, I suppose.
So before we end this, I'm going to play a quick question game just to try it out. Okay. So I'm going to shout out.
Are you testing my knowledge here?
No, it's not testing. It's more what you would prefer. It's more like what you would prefer and what your favorite thing is. But it's quick. So it's just 7 questions.
Okay.
It will, if you answer all these very quick, that means you know what you want. So that's really good. Okay, first question.
Okay.
Mexico or Brazil?
Mexico.
Of course. Makeup or no makeup?
No makeup, ideally.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, favorite color? Can't say black.
Red.
Red. Latina color, exactly. Favorite food?
Ooh, favorite food.
Huh?
Burritos.
So Mexican. Anything Mexican? Influential person in your life, whether it's a family member, politician, historian, poet, person.
First person that I've just thought of is one of my best friends, Jeremy Young.
Okay. Anybody famous?
No, I can't. Having a blank. Oh, do you know something? There is a guy that I follow on social media who is called Dr. John D. Martini. And if you read into his story, he is fascinating. He basically was brought up, he couldn't walk, he was disabled, he had no function in his legs, he walked with braces. He was told that he was never going to be able to walk properly. He was told that he was never going to be able to read. He didn't, like, he was just catered to by his parents as like a disabled individual, and kind of basically just told that that was just going to be his life. And he decided that he was just in no agreement to that whatsoever. Landed up reading every book that he could ever get his hands on, and taught himself how to walk, and hitchhiked himself from where he lived to some other place in the United States, and just went to university, did the whole thing, and now he's like a behavioral specialist that's worldwide known, and he has such a wealth of knowledge that, yeah, I find him fascinating. So he's actually the guy that said about how your voids become your values. The things that you maybe lacked as a person growing up, or the things that you wanted the most but you never had, land up becoming what shapes you into focusing the things that you really, really want for yourself. So like for me, my voids probably growing up were relationships, whether that was family or so even like friends, intimate relationships, because it was always either loss through death, grief, or breakups or divorce, parents and whatnot. So because I had that growing up as a child, the thing that I landed up valuing the most was relationships and connection with people. So yeah, he's a really interesting person. I'll go with him.
He's a real life Rocky by the sounds of things.
Oh my god, he's amazing.
That's very inspirational. That's very good. I was going to say favourite actor.
Oh dear, that's a hard one. Favorite actor, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
That I did not expect. I'll be honest with you. I thought you were going to say Bradley Cooper because of that movie you were just talking about, or he is one of my he's one of my favourite actors. But I'm into black and white movies, so if I called out names, if I say Anthony Quinn, would you know who I'm talking about?
No.
He's a Mexican one.
No.
No, he did a lot of black and white, Marlon Brando, all those kind of people. So last question, favorite go-to song for just to make you happy, just to, I don't know, make you happy, make you dance around and.
Oh, a make me happy kind of song is probably going to be, Like This.
Who did that song again?
I'm trying to remember.
Is it a dancehall song?
No, it's oh my god, what's his name? Like This. Mims.
Yeah, Mims. So that's a dancehall song. Yeah. I've got the dancehall version. That's why I thought about it. I've got the one with Sean Kingston and Mr. Vegas and Vybz Kartel.
Yeah. Yes, that every time I hear that song, it makes me just want to party.
Oh my god, that's an old school song, that, isn't it? That's when Doc used to play that on a Sunday.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my lord, that's bringing back. I'm just seeing me, Russell, Dad, Terry, everybody in that corner right now.
Oh, great! And that honestly, yeah, it's just it takes you back to a memory.
It takes you back, does it? Oh my god, yeah. I'm gonna look that. I'm gonna get that on my playlist by tonight.
There we go.
Wow.
What would be your one?
Huh? My one?
Yeah.
My happy go-to song.
Hard one, isn't it?
If I had to pick genres, I'd have a lot. My go-to song, my happy go-to song would probably be Chichi Peralta Procura. The salsa song.
I'm gonna have to.
If you heard it, you will recognize it straight away. Yeah, I'll send you to like a message. No, that one because.
Link me up.
Yeah, that one would be like. I remember dancing at 17 in Aberdeen in the Forum when they used to have Latin nights there, and that song would come on. People would go mad because it was quite popular at the time. And I remember Probably not listening to any salsa for about 6 years or something. And then working with a Colombian guy, and he played it, and I remember getting that feeling of nostalgia back. I downloaded it and I played it at home. My daughter started clapping to the music, so that's what makes it's a really cool song. It is my favorite song to dance to as well. So probably Procura, yeah. But if I really want to party, it'd have to be. I'd have to go with something like Fat Joe Lean Back.
Yes, what tune?
Yes, and or Doneo Party Hard. That one always got me going in Espo.
That's a tune. That's a tune.
You're gonna go listen to that now, yeah?
That's going straight on as soon as I'm off the phone.
If I wanted to just be like in a mode where I'm just, I don't know, in a sexy grindy mode, it'd probably Ramping Shot by Carbs Cartel.
Yeah.
That's an old school one as well. I've got many. I've got a lot, man. It's unreal.
There's too many.
There's too many. One. But definitely Procura, yeah. You know, if you put Procura on in this kind of weather, you're sorted for the rest of the day because you'll feel like you're in the Dominican Republic. So
it's sunny there.
In Edinburgh, hell yeah, man. I got sunburned so many times. I actually got my natural skin color back. It's unreal. So yeah. So to close off this session, like I said, I'm very happy to have you on. I mean, you were the first person I wanted on in the first place.
To be on. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, well, yeah, you were the first person I wanted on. I've got a few other people I want to ask, but you were the first one on the list. So, thanks for being on. Thanks for sharing your story, especially your story, your other stuff. My girlfriend's away to come into the kitchen. Yes, can I help you? You kind of lost the cat.
Yeah, what is that?
Look in the cupboards.
I looked everywhere.
He's hiding somewhere.
No, he's not.
We lost the cat sitting and we've lost the cat. He's here.
No.
No, he's not.
He's here.
What did you do when you opened the door? Did he go out?
No. No, he didn't. He was here when I started recording. Yeah. I'm gonna wait to finish and I'll help you. Okay? This is recording, so this is gonna go live on YouTube. Yes, mi gente, we lost a cat in the house. I don't know how that's possible. I know it's not funny, but when I find that cat, I don't like cats. I'm sorry, it's a superstition. I don't mind. This cat's a really nice one. It's just a superstitious thing. I prefer dogs. I'm a dog person. You know. That's actually, what can I say? You know, there's a reason. Okay. There's a reason in Latin America the reggaeton dance is called perreo because we like dogs, obviously. So it's, you know. But yeah, any message you'd like to give to the listeners out that might have just found out who you are or might know who you are already and they're seeing you on this? Any message you want to give out to them, or?
Honestly, it always just comes back to being yourself in all that you are, loving it and accepting and embracing your qualities and your flaws. Don't do anything based on what you think other people want you to be. Be yourself based on how you want to be as a person and what you strive towards.
That is a really good message, straight to the point, mi gente. If you do not follow that, don't complain that nothing's going right in your life because you didn't take no advice from nobody. That's all I'm going to say. So,
bang.
Bang, boom. Ya tú sabes. That's it. Ahí está la cosa. So, thank you so much for being on, and that was the first session of Mi Casita. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
Our links will be on the description at the bottom of the page as well, so if you want to check this beautiful lady out and follow what she does and listen to her, specifically listen to her, please check out her link on Instagram and on Facebook. And I'll be making sure that you guys listen to her because I'll be asking her if she had any new subscriptions. Please subscribe to me as well. And yeah, I will be plugging in one of my new songs at the end of this chat. So please check that out and like and subscribe. So thank you very much. Thank you, Alejandra.
Thank you.
Thanks for having you.